Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of The Inner Edge. What is that, you might be wondering? Well, of course, The Inner Edge is to bring you the inside scoop of what is happening at Funding Frontier. Because if you're going to be taking part or getting involved with Funding Frontier, we, the people, want to show you what's happening at the organization. And today, we've got two very, very special guests in the shape of the founders. Yes, you heard me correctly, the founders. We've got Mr. Zain and we've got Mr. Kashif. I'm going to introduce them and they're going to tell us their story, what Funding Frontier is about, and all the sort of latest updates and things they've got planned for you, especially if you are a Funding Frontier member. And if you're not, this is exactly why you're going to become or why you want to become one. So, introducing Zain and Kashif.
Hey, Claudio. Nice to be here.
Hi, Claudio.
Gentlemen, I mean, it's been a long time coming. You guys have been doing a lot of great things. People have been wondering who are the real faces behind Funding Frontier, and here you are. So, we're just going to kick this off with a little bit about the funders. Anything you want to say first before we kick off your journey here?
Nah, let's just go for it.
You just want to go for it, Keashif?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Well, this is exactly why these guys do what they do. They just jump straight into it and they do things properly. So, Zain, Kashif, tell us a little bit about yourselves and tell us how you guys came to meet and pretty much where Funding Frontier started.
It's an interesting question, and I think there's a good story behind it. So, firstly, I'm Zain. I come from a corporate background, I would say. I graduated as a quantity surveyor, and I went on to do my master's in finance and investment. And I worked for a very large property fund as a property developer for a number of years. And yeah, I would say I always had trading as an interest and a hobby on the side. And I've always done it for a number of years. And I think I went down the traditional rabbit hole of trying to learn trading, joined a number of communities to learn the secret sauce, which exists, but it also doesn't exist. I think a lot of people are misled by that. And that's how I came across Keashif. And yeah, we built a relationship over quite a long time online before we combined our expertise and passion for trading and decided to found Funding Frontier. And yeah, it's been an incredible journey thus far.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a rapid journey. It's been 18 months and you guys have already done what you've done. A lot of new things, exciting things. You've got people joining left, right, and center. Kashif, tell me what you were thinking when this man introduced himself to you and said, "Hey, I've got this idea. What do you think?"
So basically, me and Zen, I used to run a community of more than 10,000 followers, and I started doing live trading in a closed community, and that's when me and Zen started to get along together. And what I found in Zen, which really gave me that idea, hey, this is the right guy to start Funding Frontier with, is most importantly the discipline and interacting with me, and always there, whenever there's something we have to do or some discussions we have to do. And that's when me and Zen we started to trade one-on-one. And me and Zen at that time, it was 2 years ago, we used to trade prop firms. We used to trade with FTMO. We used to trade with my forex funds. And those were the time there were not too much competition in the market, and the rules of prop firms, they were quite hard. You had 30 trading days. That means you have to pass your challenge in 30 trading days. There was a time limit. And that's where me and Zen, we started to get in that conversation that there's a room for innovation, which we can work on and come up as a prop firm and offer more good rules to our traders and to our community. And that's when we started to think about starting our own prop firm.
Yeah, I mean, from what I know and what I've been told is that obviously you were the trader. Zain was an aspiring trader. he started speaking to you, and that's how the relationship formed. And slowly, this sort of gap in the market and the innovation that you guys want to bring to the market is what kicked it off. Am I right in saying that, Zain?
Yeah, I think, look, we were both trading on prop firms and personal capital. And what we realized is like the industry at the time was dominated by, well, still dominated by a few big firms. But at the time, because of the strict rules, we found like those rules were not necessarily always aligned to the trader's interest. And we felt there was slight tweaks that each program type that would benefit the trader as well as be beneficial to both, as well as be beneficial to the firm. And we said we're going to try it out, and we're not here to revolutionize or change the industry as a whole, but like just make these slight tweaks that could benefit both the trader and the firm. And if it's done correctly, this could be a really, really big opportunity for us from a business point of view. Yeah, and look, I've always been entrepreneurially minded, and I think I seen a good opportunity in this business, and Keashif had a good community. He understood trading from a trader's perspective, and given my corporate background, I think I had access to a lot of investors that I previously worked with from the development space, and that because I would handle very big developments when I was working in the corporate space. So I had access to a lot of investors and funds. So guys trusted me, they backed me if I proposed a good idea to them. And yeah, raising the money was the easy part. I think we managed to do that pretty fast. And yeah, we just said, you know what, let's go for it and see where it takes us.
Yeah, and it's taken you down here. It's taken you on this show, explaining a little bit more about yourselves. Kashif, when we're looking about the trading side, we clearly got the connector up top here, who's Zain, and we've got you, the maven, who is the trading expert. In between, from user to now, someone and people that want to create things, better products for other people. My question for you, specifically about your trading journey, what was that like? Because like Zain's told me in the past, you were doing really, really well, and you had your own difficulties and challenges, and suddenly you decided to go quiet for a while after you faced those challenges before you got to this point.
So basically, like for me, like trading is has been a really bumpy ride. I've started like from quite a young age of 14. Like I picked up trading as a hobby through my father when I was 14, and originally I was trading just stock markets, and that's like when I was in my school, like I came across forex trading, and everything was going really nice, and like I was predicting the markets, and that's when like I come into live trading. And everyone knows, like everybody in this trading cycle, like they go through that roller coaster emotional ride. So I've been a victim of that as well. But over time, like looking at other traders, like especially like the guys who have made it to the top in trading, I've picked up like the key things from those guys, right? So, and I adopted that in my trading journey, and over time I just like worked on that, and it just like it worked out well. Like you, like there's a saying in trading, like all of your like whatever time you're going to spend in trading, there's going to be a time, if you don't give up, like everything is going to fall in place, and it's going to click out. And once that clicks out, like your 1 month of profits, they're going to pay for your 5 years of losses. So I've been through that road. I've faced challenges, but the thing, like I never gave up, never ever.
Yeah. And I mean, it is quite an emotional ride just from a trading perspective. And now you guys have decided to go into the business of trading, and that's quite emotional. So Zain, from your perspective, what have been the biggest challenges you guys have faced as founders of Funding Frontier?
Whoa, I think one of the biggest challenges, if we look at it chronologically, was when we entered the market. My forex funds, which was probably like one of the top two firms at the time, really big firm, had stopped its operations for a number of reasons, mainly compliance compliance related issues in the US, and that there were tons and tons of traders, thousands and thousands of traders that that were on that platform that now needed a new home. And whilst they needed a new home, because they had been let down by my Forex funds, which was sort of the blue chip firm in the space, they were looking for a firm that they could trust. And this presented a very big opportunity for us because there was market share for us to capture. But whilst at the same time, we had to convince people as a new firm that we're actually reliable and trustworthy. And that was the biggest challenge for me, because we were a brand new name, a brand new firm. Yes, people knew Keashif. They didn't really know me, but we had to win trust. And I think trust is the biggest issue in this industry up until today. And what I think really helped us was that we managed to onboard traders during that time. And I think we tried our best with every trader to develop a personal relationship. So if that meant engaging with each trader that had any issues individually, we would do that. And I think that is something we still do right up until today. And that's what originally helped us. And I mean, even in situations, I think, where traders had issues, for example, on our platform, and after investigating it and looking into it, we were actually in the right as the firm. We went to the extent of giving the trader the benefit of the doubt in a lot of those cases, just to make sure that they trust our brand and our service. And yeah, I think that's what really worked for us. I mean, look, our product offering is good. Our service is excellent, but I mean, we're competing with giants in this space. And yeah, I think we offer a community environment, an environment where people can trust what they're getting. The trading conditions were excellent. I mean, those go without say, but I think more than anything else was our support and personal relationship with each and every client of ours.
Yeah, and I think building trust, regardless if it's just a relationship or if it's just with your family members, it's always a tricky thing. And it's making that time, that personal one-on-one time. And that's exactly what you guys are doing at the moment. And that's why you're putting your faces out here. Not many people are brave enough to come out and put their faces and saying, we are the founders, this is what we're doing. If you have any issues, contact us and speak to us. And that's something we keep getting rave reviews from the users that are using Funding Frontiers. So Keashif, on your side, when we're talking about trust, that's something Zain's clearly spoken about that he's diving into. From your side, what's the biggest challenge you've faced since starting Funding Frontier?
So basically, like on my side, like from the trader's perspective, like I in 2021, like when I started trading as my full time, I also started my Instagram page, Forex Trade 247. And what I was doing, like free of cost, I was providing value education on a daily basis. I was doing YouTube live streams, like teaching people, answering everyone's question in my DMs. So over time, like I developed like a lot of trust in market, engaged with a lot of influencers, including Raja Banks. I met them, and it built like a lot of trust. So when we started Funding Frontier, and I came up and said, hey, I'm going to start Funding Frontier. So I received a really positive feedback from my community, and I'm going to shout out to them, like, thank you everyone for supporting Funding Frontier in this venture. So on my side, like, yeah. So on my side, like I haven't faced any challenges. Like I got all the support from the community, and I think like it's just like, you can say like it's karma. Like what you give in, like you get back in return. So I believe like the years I've worked in like free education and helping out everyone, it really came back to me like in a really positive manner.
Yeah. And it's testament. Yeah, go ahead, Zain.
I just wanted to add, like when we started this thing, like between myself and Keashif, like our goal with Funding Frontier was to take baby steps, and it was never to be the biggest firm out there. Like we want to do our own thing, but most importantly, we want to be the most reliable firm out there, offering a great product with great challenge conditions and a supportive community, and just overall a brand that people can trust. And if we could offer that, the growth would take care of itself. I think that's the primary foundation we built this thing on.
Yeah, and like I said, it's testament to why we got viewers here today, and we got people liking this show. So this is exactly what we need to do. Keashif, you keep growing that community, and Zain, you keep doing the thing that you're doing as well behind the scenes, the one-on-one relationships. Gentlemen, with regards to doing this sort of community exercise that we are talking about, and you got to grow it, and you got to do your things. Keashif, when I'm thinking about starting what you're doing, how do you manage? I mean, everyone that we get onto the show, a lot of them say they got a full-time job and they still trade. And I believe this is something the two of you still do while you're managing Funding Frontier. So you're really practicing what you're preaching.
Exactly. Like after starting Funding Frontier, like my trading, like it's not been that easy, because like it's like many people think like starting a prop firm, like it's like piece of cake, but like actually it's not. Like if you actually like building up a steady prop firm, a sustainable prop firm, like there goes a lot behind the scenes. Like me, Zain and me founders from day one, like we working like ass off, to be honest, like from 9 to 5, you can say, not even 9 to 5, like all like 24 hours, like we work in shifts. Like if there is a customer like 3 a.m. in the morning and he has a problem and we awake, like we make sure like we help them out. Like we don't rely on our support staff. We out there to reach out to customers to provide them the best. And that's like, I feel like stands us out like in this prop space, like the support, dedicated support, like we providing like to our customers.
Yeah, I think like it's really it's a full-time exercise, because what the trader sees on from the outside is just one aspect of it, and there's a lot more to it. And if you think about it, like one part is just customer support. That's just one aspect of it. You have to make sure that systems are always operational. Then we've got a team that just looks at risk full time, and traders' behavior, how they're performing, all of that. Then you also need to look at your cash flow, your finances. You need to develop multiple streams of income. That is a business on its own. It's multiple businesses there, actually, because you cannot, in today's prop trading environment, a lot of firms, a lot of them are actually just relying on challenge fees, and that's not a sustainable model. You have to have multiple streams of income, and you have to be always on the lookout for doing this. And luckily, like we've got a good team and we've managed to achieve those multiple streams of income. But like getting to this point has been really difficult, because it's much easier said than done, if that makes sense. So yeah. I mean, just to give you an idea, like we've got our challenge fees that we earn. We've got selected traders that we A-book. We've got liquid investments that we're always on the lookout for, and that we're actively investing in all the time. So like the management of that alone is a job on its own. So yeah, there's not much sleep, but yeah, it's been really worth it in the end.
Yeah, well, it's good to know that both of you still have your hair after all the hard work that you've been doing. Gentlemen, but based on that, I mean, like I said, from traders to now founders of a business within trading, and customizing the model to make it suitable and tailor-made for the type of prop phone or leverage trader. What are the latest, freshest updates that you guys have lined up for your Funding Frontier community? Come on.
We've been working in silence, and I think now is the right time to announce it. So we've got quite a few updates, and that are going to be really exciting for our community. So I think first off, we're going to kick it off. We've got a brand new website that we've launched. It's really slick, user friendly, and I think it's a massive step up from what we had before. And not only from what we had before, but I think if you look at the industry as a whole, I think we've probably got one of the best websites out there right now. So please just feel free to hop on there, take a look at it, and give us your honest feedback. I think the user experience and interface is second to none. The other thing that we've been really working on is we've spent a lot of money and time on upgrading our new traders dashboard. This is a brand new tech offering, and it's really cool. I think it also provides fantastic user interface, and it's made it really easy and smooth for our traders to navigate and manage the accounts. Thirdly, this is a big one. We've recently just signed up C Trader, and we've obtained our own main label C Trader license. So we've got that license, and we've got direct tier 1 LP liquidity on our feed now. So I mean, the trading conditions are second to none. We've got razor sharp spreads, very, very low latency execution. So like, trading conditions are phenomenal, if I put it to you. Keashif can expand on that from a trader's point of view, but I think we've really done a good job there. So yeah, I think these are very, very big investments that we've made, and these are the sides of the business that a lot of the traders don't see. But yeah, we're always working on to improve things for them. And I think the biggest announcement so far is that we've actually improved our objectives and conditions, and we've updated our rules that are actually going to benefit our traders. And what we've done is we've reduced the minimum number of trading days from 5 to 3 now, and that's going to be a big plus for our traders. And in addition to this, we've also reduced our first payout period from 30 days to 14 days. So
Woo!
yeah,
Yes.
I think
that's what we're talking about, guys. Come on, go get some noise. That's amazing. That's amazing. From 30 days to 14 days. This is what the people want. Keep going.
I think the traders are really going to appreciate these changes, and I think it's something that we're proud to offer, because I think we're in a very strong position to do so. And what I want to add to this is that a lot of firms at this point in time are actually tightening up their rules, and I wouldn't say are loosening the rules, but what we've done is we've actually taken a conservative approach first, studied the market, looked at over a year's data to see like what is sustainable and what is not sustainable in terms of a rule set. And yeah, we've built our business reserves, and we're in a very strong financial position to offer this now. And it's all backed by actual data. So these decisions are all very informed that we've made and calculated. So I think it's going to be sustainable, and yeah, otherwise we wouldn't have offered it. But I think the traders will really appreciate it.
Yep, learning from data. Sorry, no, Keashif, wait. I need to get this point. You guys are learning from data. You're expanding on that, learning from past failures, and you're innovating, iterating. You're giving the people what they need and what they want. Again, Keashif, now from the trader's perspective, what are the updates? What are the things that the traders need to know about on a fundamental level?
So basically, like, I'm going to be neutral on this, and I'm going to be really honest. Like, I do trade with prop firms. I'm like well over 600K funding. And just this month, like, I've took $41,000 in payouts. So from traders' perspective, like, if
hang on, guys, did you see how casual he was about that, Zain? Come on. Did you see how casual he was? Just repeat that again, please. What have you just done? What, to explain? Yeah, let's hear it again.
So I'm like 600K in funding across different prop firms. And just this month, I've secured $41,000 in payouts. Just this month, June.
Slow clap, Zain. Come on, you can join the party too. Let's go. Come on. There you go. Keep going.
So like from a trader's perspective, as I'm trading with other prop firms, I would like to say, like, with the launch of our own license C Trader, we have the direct bridge to the liquidity provider. That means like the spreads, they're directly going to the traders, raw spreads. And that means like traders, they're getting like no slippages, no markups, razor sharp spreads, which allowing them to scalp better, trade better. And we have the lowest latency C Trader, like which letting the traders to execute their trades instantly. That's like the plus point, which every prop trader would like to have in any prop firm. The second thing, with our new dashboard, we have a really user-friendly dashboard now, and that means like we have all the data on our dashboard like in real time, which means like if a trader wants to check up on his drawdown limit, it's going to show the drawdown limit in real time. Let's say a trader loses $100 on his MT5 or C Trader. if it goes on his dashboard, like instantly, like it's going to update in real time. So that's a big plus. It's letting the trader inform like how much they can lose in a day. That's a big plus.
Mm-hmm.
And the third point, like we got with a new dashboard, we got in dashboard payout system. So that means like traders, they can request the payouts from their dashboard if they want. Like we do offer direct crypto payouts, but if a trader wants to request a payout directly from the dashboard, they can do that. And the other thing, like, which I would like to emphasize on, which is really important, like for our Indian audience, for our
Mm-hmm.
Pakistani audience, and for Turkey, Bangladesh, we know like we came across to we come to know like in India, especially like in India, there is a ban in getting hold on crypto. You can't use credit cards on forex websites, on trading websites. So traders, they were facing a real problem to buy challenges, even though like with many of the prop firms, they face that challenge to buy a prop firm. So
Yeah.
what we did, we partnered up with a few payment processor to offer local payment options to India, to
Okay.
Pakistan. That
Amazing.
means like
Amazing.
that means they can pay from their local bank, from their cell
Yeah.
phone, they can connect their local bank and they can pay out, not to just buy challenges, but also for their payouts. So that's a big pro with our new updates.
Yeah. So to the point, you guys are doing a lot of work behind the scenes, making it happen for these guys to make sure that they can get their hands on the money when they've traded hard and they've earned that money, especially following the sort of tips and advice you get and give them. Okay, fantastic stuff, guys. Great work. We're going to move over to our prop industry trader outlook. And the question I have for you is, what are your thoughts on the current state of trading and the prop industry at the moment? Zain, you kick us off.
I think the industry is in a very tricky position, and what we're seeing right now is, I think there's a lot of desperation in this space. So we're seeing a lot of firms that are offering huge discounts, cheap challenge prices. I mean, easy rules to attract as many traders as possible. And my advice to traders personally is that cheaper and easier isn't always better. Like, you're ultimately gonna get what you pay for. So if you're gonna pay peanuts, you're most likely gonna attract monkeys. So
Yeah.
you're gonna get what you're paying for. I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like, this approach, like it's led to a lot of firms like onboarding a significant number of traders on an unsustainable model. And what we've seen is a lot of these prop firms have now paused their operations or ceased their operations in recent months. And I think we're definitely going to see failures very soon. So a lot of them are going to follow suit. And at the end of the day, like, what the trader wants is a firm that's reliable, will be around for the long term. And from a business point of view, that's what we also want. We want a firm that we don't necessarily have to make all the money in 1 month, but like, if you're there over the long term, like, you will do well over the long term, and you will make money the slow and hard way, which I think is the right way. So that's what's happening in the space. And just another thing that we're also seeing is that a lot of firms are now changing their rules, and the whole point of that is to bring about more consistency amongst their traders and to obviously improve the sustainability of their businesses. So my opinion on that from a business perspective is that I understand why they're doing it, and I actually agree with it. It's the right decision, but I feel in some cases it might be a day late and a dollar short. Like, it's just too late, and it's just a matter of time until things implode. And I think what's really benefited us, and I'm going to say this again, is like, when we started this thing, the number one thing we try to do from day one was not necessarily to be the biggest firm out there, but to be the most sustainable and reliable firm. And yes, our rules are not always the easiest, and I'm the first to admit that, but there's a reason for that, and we're trying to identify the most consistent traders.
Yeah.
And I think those rules, like, that we implemented from the outset of the business, are actually being mirrored or copied to a certain extent by a number of firms in this space that are much bigger than us. And I think the conservative approach was actually the right approach in hindsight, and that's really, really benefited us. I think we've seen great results. Our traders are happy, and yeah, I mean, basically a no bullshit firm, if I have to put it bluntly.
Yeah. Kashif.
Well, on that part, like I would say, like I've been a victim of that as well. Like, I totally agree with Zain. Like, there's a lot of firms, like, and not just small firms, like big firms, like just popped like a month or 2 months ago, and they're offering like 50% discount on challenges. And I purchased like challenge accounts, like from few of the firms, because they were creating like a lot of hype. Like as Zain said, like their agenda is to get like everyone on board, like, just gather the challenge fees and do the rug pull and run away, right? So
Yeah.
I bought like with few firms, and what I started to see, like just in over a month, like they started to delay the funded accounts, they started to delay the payouts, and on one occasion they also like breached my account, like out of nowhere. Like they denied to issue me a funded account, saying like we don't offer accounts to Pakistani traders, whereas like on their website, like it was mentioned like they allow to all the countries. But like just overnight they changed the rules, and it was a big account, like 200K, and they just rug pulled. So just to like take away on this, like for me, like it doesn't matter. Like I can afford to lose like $1,000 or $2,000, but for the traders out there, like if they're looking up for bigger discounts, like with prop firms, like being trading with prop firms from last 3 years, I would say like only go with the firms like with sustainable model, which are offering like decent discounts, and not just like gimmicks and just selling your dreams. So that's something like you need to be aware of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
certainly.
and
No
I want-
rug pulls. No rug pulls. Only magic carpets here. Eh? Zain? When they jump on
Yeah,
this
I
carpet, they fly.
want to add on to that is that one thing that just my advice to a trader is that I'm not claiming Funding Frontier is perfect. We're always striving to improve, and yes, we do make mistakes, and we will make mistakes in the future. But what we try to do our best, thoughtful and deliberate, before we make any decisions, and before we launch anything. We try to provide real value, and the most important thing for us is to build trust with our traders. And in the long term, that's going to benefit both us and the traders. And my advice is to traders, don't even join Funding Frontier. Like, I mean, do your research first on every firm out there before you give your money to anybody. Like, it's your money, it's your decision. You must do your own due diligence, and you must be comfortable with who you go for. It's a massive opportunity that prop firms are presenting, but you need to be very wise and you need to be very selective before you just jump into this, because you can get burnt very quickly. So that's honest advice. I don't think any other prop firm owner is going to give you that advice. I'm telling you that that's the truth. Go for people that are trustworthy. And you know what? Like, at the end of the day, like, you must understand something about a business. Like, a business is just, it's a face to the world, but at the end of the day, it's the people behind the scenes that run the business. And if you can trust the people behind the scenes, you can sleep well at night. And I think we try to have the best people on our team, so to foster that trust and develop it over time. So yeah.
And I mean, on that note, the type of traders that have been successful with Funding Frontier, they make appearances on your show called the deep dives, the trader deep dives. And so you get your airtime if you do really well Funding Frontier too, and you get to share your experience and your knowledge. And these are the type of people that Zain and Kashif are trying to attract. And this is their goal. And they're very good at identifying the people that want to be part of something that's got a long-term sustainable future. Gentlemen, on the trader observations. Now, this is where we're obviously looking at what are the common mistakes traders are making that you've noticed as the founders of Funding Frontier. The traders that are coming into your place that are wanting to be traders and make big bags like Keashif is doing. What are these mistakes? And can we dive deep? And I mean, I suppose this ball is being passed to you, Keashif, because this is your expertise over here. Good man.
Oh yeah. So like I would say, like I'll be honest, like on this, like 80%, like 90% of traders, they fail challenges, right? 80% of them, like they don't not even reach to the funded stage. That's the honest truth. Like everybody knows that. And what I've seen, like the common mistakes like traders make, like when they buy the challenge, like they rush into the challenge, like they don't take their time to wait for the A plus setups. Like technically, like I would say, like they take the challenges for granted. Like
Mhm.
if you deposit like a $500 in a live account, you will be more accountable trading that. Like if you lose like 10%, that's $50 on $500. Like you will be concerned, like, hey, I lost like 10%, $50. Like I need to slow down. I need to recover that back up and then start my journey. Like, but when traders, they buy challenges, like they spend like $500 on 100K, they take it like for granted. Like they would go like in 1% drawdown, and rather than calling it a day, waiting for the next setup to formalize, like they would just like keep going over trading, revenge trading, trying to make that loss back up, and eventually they'll hit that daily drawdown limit. And uh, talking numbers here, like once you are down like 5% on a challenge, that means like in order to come back to break even, you need to make 100% gain just to be back at break even. So the moment you down like 5%, like that's kind of like a point of no return. So that's one of the biggest mistake like prop traders they make. They just rush into the challenges, this gamble like the whole daily drawdown. Whereas like what like the successful traders do, on the other hand, they make a buffer like above the initial balance. So let's say you have 100K, they would like go with half risk per trade. They will make that buffer above the initial balance, and then they will use those profits to like go in their journey. So that's like what I've seen, like from a trader's perspective, and looking at the stats like in Funding Frontier.
Also,
Okay.
like Kashif, like what would you say, like from making 40,000 this month, like your personal strategy? How do you approach a prop firm challenge? Like if you were to look at it personally, like what advice would you give?
So basically, like with my style of trading, like I have a backtested, like proven backtested strategy. So I divide my challenge like in 20 trades. So that means like I start with 0.5% risk per trade when I start my challenge. That means like in order to lose the challenge, I need to lose like 20 trades in a row, 20 consecutive trades to lose the challenge. And like in trading, like that doesn't happen. Like if that happens, like you should stop trading, to be honest. Like on the other hand, like what really gives me an edge is a positive risk reward ratio. So every trade, like if I'm risking 0.5%, I'm going for like 1.5% reward. So if I'm losing like $50, I'm making like $150. That's like, even if I have a 50% win ratio, I'm still gonna be profitable because of having a positive risk to reward ratio. So that's something like my strategy is pretty basic. It's just like playing the numbers and staying disciplined with my set rules.
Yeah, I mean, just keep going because I'm making notes here. I don't know about you, Zain. Anything else you
Yeah.
want to ask from your side? Because I'm in awe of listening to this. And again, it's to that point. You don't want to be jumping on Funding Frontier, blowing your account, and then you've lost everything. Where this is a massive opportunity, you can take leveraged funds and turn it into a positive. And in this case, Keashif seems like he's got a winning formula here. So, what are the successful traits of prop traders there, Keashif?
Like successful traders, they really few. Like I would say like 10% only make it to the funded stage, and like out of the funded guys, like only 5% makes to the payout. And like the successful trades, I would say, like is the successful traders, they have a proven backtested strategy. Like before jumping into the live markets, they would go on their charts, like backtest a strategy and make a data set, like to see like if their strategy is actually working out, like over like series of 100 trades or 50 trades. Once they have that, they just start to execute that all on the chart, like with discipline, right? And the second thing, like of successful traders, like they have, as I said before, like a positive risk reward ratio. That's really, really important. Like if you like risking $10 and you're trying to make like $5, like it's not going to make you a profitable trader, right? So you need to have that high risk reward edge in your system. The second thing like is waiting for your A plus setups. That's really, really important. Like what I've seen, like the profitable traders, they always make up to the payout just because they are disciplined and they are patient. Like the key point, like making them profitable and successful is they stick discipline to their strategy, to their setup. So for example, like if they're gonna take a loss, they're gonna call it a
Mm-hmm.
day and they're gonna come back the other day, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
key in this game, I would say, is to survive and live for another day, because there's a saying like another day, another dollar. But if you are trying to revenge trade, trying to make that loss on the same day, it's not going to work out. It's never going to work out. You always have to wait for another setup, another price section, another narrative on the price section, and execute your strategy. That's for like the challenge phase. And especially like I would like to give a golden nugget right here for the funded traders is a lot of these guys like funded traders, they make a handsome payout, but one mistake like they do, like they don't lock it up. They keep trading like out of greed. Like greed is always a factor. Like uh Zan and me know, like there was a trader I'm going to specifically talk about. Like he was like up $16,000 on a
Mm-hmm.
200k in payout, and his payout like was in 2 days. We like readied up the money, like we about to pay him out, and just like before like two days before the payout, like he blown all the profits, not just the profits, but he blown the account, the funded account as well. So it's really important, like when you get
Yeah.
funded, you have to like take it, think like of realistic expectations. Like you're not gonna make like 8%, 10%, like just like you made on the challenge phase. On the funded phase, you need to know like the ROI game, return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, like if you paid like $500 to buy 100k on the funded stage, like if you up 3%, that means like $3,000. You already up like 300 to 400% on your challenge fee. That's a 3 to 400% return on investment. At that point, like funded traders, the profitable ones, what they do, and especially me as well, like lock it up. You can lock up your funded account, delete the logins. You can like on the sideline, you can trade other challenges. If you have a other funded account, you can trade that. And once you receive the payout, secure the payout and use that payout to scale across different prop firms, right? So that's like the, I would say, like the secret sauce of profitable funded traders.
Hey.
They take rational decisions, to be honest, like in short.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I mean, there's a lot of key nuggets here. Zain, do you want to touch on this too?
Yeah, like just on that example that he gave, like we've seen this happen many times, not only on a 200k account, like guys that are up 10, 15%. I mean, they're up 5, 6, maybe even more X on the initial investment. And I don't know what gets to them. Like I think the switch just goes off in the head and the greed just overcomes them. And before you know it, the whole account's gone. So I think it's just a lack of patience because they've made the money, but it's just the greed that they want more and more and more. And yeah, what Keashif said is 100% right. Like, I mean, just to give you an example, the guy that made 16,000, our team had actually contacted him to like congratulate him and arrange for like him to do an interview with us and speak to our community. And he was ready to do it. And that was literally 2 days before he was supposed to get paid. And between the time that we contacted him to the time he was supposed to be paid, he blew the entire account. It's unbelievable. So yeah, it's a sad story, but these things happen. And yeah, I think greed is something, if you can control it, you'll do really well.
Yeah. And I mean, that control comes down to what you guys are talking about when you're having a set strategy, and that's keeping you disciplined and saying there's nothing wrong with having ambition, but lock it up and start going again, as opposed to thinking you're just going to double, triple, quadruple, 100x it, like they say on the crypto streets, 1,000x. Ooh.
Like,
right, gentlemen. Yeah, go ahead, Keashif. Yeah.
To be honest, like I would say the urge is real strong. It's real strong. Like I was like up like $15,000 and I locked up the payout, and my split was like in 7 days. And in those 7 days, like when you're sitting on the charts, like there's setups happening every day, and you just like get that urge, like, hey, that's a plus setup. Like I can make like a $500,000 here, but you have to suppress that urge. Once the payout
Yeah.
is locked, just like sit tight, trade like other challenges, like trade like deposit like $50, $100, whatever, like trade that, but keep that payout secured, because that's eventually like your golden nugget, like in this journey. Your funded account, like I would say, like don't trade take them as lottery tickets. Like funded accounts are not your lottery tickets. Like you need to like take them like seriously, just like your live accounts.
Mm-hmm. And there we go. From a sort of golden trading nugget to some nugget of wisdom there, Kashif. Topical Bomb, ladies and gentlemen. This is the question that I have for Zain. I'm going to throw this directly at you. Some prop firms are offering easier challenges at lower prices. Now we know this. You've touched on this. Why should traders choose Funding Frontier?
Look, I think I've answered this question already, but I'll repeat myself here, is that cheaper isn't always better. Like you're going to get what you paid for. And I think with us, our rule set is not necessarily the easiest, but it is a rule set that's sustainable for both the trader and the firm. And yeah, I think we've got great trading conditions, razor sharp spreads, low latency executions. We've I think our profit targets are very competitive, especially on a two-step challenge. 7.5% in phase 1 and 5% in phase 2, which I think is probably one of the best out there, if not the best. And yeah, I think more than anything else, like there's human beings behind this name, and they're always available. So if there's any issue, you can always reach out, and you'll get an answer to your issue instantly. And we've traded ourselves on a number of big firms. Trust me, to get an answer out of a lot of these behemoths is very hard. In some cases, you often don't. So yeah, with us, I mean, we're always here, and if you have any issues, we're always there to take care of it.
Yeah, and on that note, it's always easier to hide behind a veil. You guys have unmasked yourselves over here today, so people know who these founders are, finally. We're going to move over to the Q&A section, and one of the questions that we have from some of the users, it is, can you explain how the updated rules will impact the trading experience?
Okay, so we lowered down our payout date, like from 30 days to 14 days. So you guys can request your payout bi-weekly now, right? And other than that, then like you wanted to
how amazing does that sound, eh?
Yeah, I think, and also like lowering the minimum trading days from 5 to 3 will really benefit them. I think it's gonna essentially, like, if you are consistently profitable, theoretically you could get a payout in a much shorter period of time. But let me also just be honest, like, it does not mean that the minimum trading days is 3 minimum trading days, that you must achieve the target in 3 days. Like, please take your time, do it at your own pace, let the market and the setups come to you, don't chase it. You should take your time. You have enough time. So like the fastest way to make money in this game is the slow way. That's the truth. So take your time and take your setups as they come. That's what I can tell you.
I think that's a key point to stress, because to that point, you think, oh, it's a time challenge. So, you have to make a challenge. You have to make a trade now. You've got to get onto that 5% or whatever it is. So then you tend to make irrational decisions. And it goes back to what Keashif is saying. Stick to your strategy, lay out your game plan, find something you want to be trading and do it right, and be patient. Be patient. Second question, what support systems are in place for new traders joining Funding Frontier, Zain?
So we've got a lot of ways to communicate with us. We've got 24/7 live chat on our website. If you have any account-specific matters, you can contact us on our support email, support@fundingfrontier.com. We've also got a Discord community that's very active, and our team is active pretty much 24/7 there as well. So you can just raise a ticket on Discord, and it will get escalated very quickly. I don't advise this, but some people do reach out on our social media handles. But I wouldn't say social media is a support channel. I mean, We've got live chat support on our website, email support, and Discord, and you can use any of those to communicate with us. We also have a WhatsApp line, so if you want to chat to us via WhatsApp as well, you're more than welcome to chat to us on WhatsApp, and our support team's there all the time.
Awesome. Last question from the Q&A, Keashif. We've got, what are the benefits of using the new FFC trader platform for traders? Now, you've touched on this, but give us a quick summarized sort of overview.
Razor sharp spreads, I would say. Instant execution, lowest latency. We got the lowest commissions and like sleek design. And like tier 1 liquidity.
There you go. I mean, that's Zain. How many points was that? That was quick. That was easy. That was easy to jot down and say, this is it. Eh? Come on, guys. All right, we're going to move over to the FF Vision, and this is pretty much, we're coming to the wrap of the show. Something to leave the viewers here, Zain and Keashif, and the community members of Funding Frontier. What is your vision for Funding Frontier? We've spoken about sustainability. We've spoken about the intensity of getting up these 18 months and doing everything that you've done, but for the distance, for people to rub that magic ball. What are they going to be seeing in that glass magic ball there?
Look, we are a business at the end of the day, and like any business, we definitely want to continue growing. So that is our number one objective, but it's how we grow that's important. And as I said 100 times before, we need to grow in a sustainable basis. Yeah. And we're not trying to be the biggest firm out there, but we want to be focused on being very reliable and to just improve every day. Like if we can improve 1% a day, that's great. We'll just continue to do that and try to offer a great product with great conditions, and we're going to support that with a vibrant community and a brand that people genuinely trust. And look, the space, prop firm space and the industry is changing really, really fast, and we need to be dynamic to keep up. We're always on our toes, and I think we're ready to adapt and improve. So whenever we need to make changes, whether that be to rules, to programs, to products that we're offering, anything for that matter, we're committed to communicating openly with our traders. Like, don't think that this space is going to remain stagnant, and what you're seeing now in terms of challenges and product offerings is going to remain the same in the foreseeable future. It's dynamic and it's always changing, and like any other firm, things are going to change. I'm pretty sure about that. And when those changes do happen, we're committed to communicating it openly with our traders. It's all about maintaining that trust and ensuring everyone's on the same page. So yeah, we'll always be there for that. And yeah, ultimately we see Funding Frontier as a place where, I mean, traders can not only succeed but also feel supported and valued. And yeah, we want to keep building on that foundation and be a firm that traders can count on for the long haul.
Yeah, I think that's well said. Good way to end the show for everyone watching. I mean, that's pretty much us. That's a wrap. This is the first episode of The Inner Edge, brought to you by Funding Frontier. Of course, the co-founders, Zain and Kashif. Just to highlight the key points, the takeaways here, Funding Frontier aren't going anywhere. They're trying to build something sustainable and something trustworthy for you as a personalized experience. Join now if you want to be a proper trader. That's what it is. We've got a Maven trading expert. We've got a community builder / business entrepreneurial person here. This is the perfect match. One in Pakistan, one in South Africa. This is Funding Frontier, ladies and gentlemen. Here for you. They're not going anywhere. So, Zain and Kashif, you want to say your final goodbyes?
Thank you. Thanks for hosting us, Claudio. It was really good. And I hope the viewers get something out of this. And if they want to chat about anything, they're more than welcome to reach out to us on any of our pages or via email as well.
Yep.
Short and sweet. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what to be cool.